Something new for today, as you guys can see, the front end on this car is taken apart. The front knuckle right there is visible. I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen the billet spindles I got here from Keesler Automation, but it's a pretty awesome looking piece. Now, you guys might be wondering, why is the front end off, right? We're actually taking apart the subframe. As you can see down there, I got jacks supporting the OE subframe. And I got my race ramps on there as well, just in case this thing falls. But you know what I'm saying, it won't. I'm just super anal about safety. So on this side of the table, you can see the subframe setup. I've mentioned this the past video, and I have a whole subframe video before this. But here is the main topic for today. These guys. Can you guys guess what this is? Look at this thing. These are my 3D printed fender vents. Now obviously I got left and right side. We essentially scanned the car and designed this with the CAD data. The original designer of the shape was obviously me, but my buddy John Sabal kind of tweaked it to where it looked really good. And then Mira-san drew it on CAD, and I printed it. So it's a lot of collaboration here between different dudes, but big dudes. Like Mira-san's a heavy hitter in the body kit scene. If you didn't know, he makes the Pandem body kits and the Rocket Bunny kits on the Miata. So Pandem, Rocket Bunny, same thing. But John Sabal is also a huge name in the industry. He designs and renders a bunch of cool kits for a lot of manufacturers and a lot of designers and people. We happen to be good friends, so I texted him one day. I'm like, hey John, you think you can help me out on the design process of my fender vents? And he said, yeah man, sure, no problem. Send me what you want and we'll make it. Initially, I wanted to make this in like billet aluminum. You know what I mean? Like my Cayman over here, I know the lighting's a little bit dodgy, but when I designed the uprights for my Cayman, these right here for the wing setup, I did it in billet aluminum. Now I could have done it in steel, it would have been cheaper, but I just went with the billet look because it looks awesome. And same with a Miata over there, the taillights on the Miata. It's a bit tough to get through here. Let me see if I could walk through here. This wing is gimungo, and it likes to touch people when they walk around here. But see this right here? This is also billet 6061 aluminum. That's my taillight. Those are my Hydron taillights. And you can see the video on that on my channel. I'll link it above. But the fender vents, they were supposed to be done in billet aluminum, but I figured it's so much harder to do pieces in billet aluminum than just 3D printing it. Now, I found a really awesome company out in 626 area that actually 3D prints stuff for Boeing and stuff like that. So I had them do this as a test to see how it looks. Now, some of you guys are wondering like, what's up with that texture? There's a texture here, as you can see. See that? That's actually not too bad. Considering that this is 3D printed, it's actually pretty nice. All you have to do is hit that with sandpaper and then prime it, and it should be pretty smooth. If you guys didn't know, the fender vents on my Cayman right here, these were also 3D printed. Not as nice as those, but this is super smooth. If you look at it closer, it's nice and smooth after paint. So I'm not too worried about how this is going to turn out because the finish on this is actually pretty nice. Now, if you look closer, it's actually contoured in all sorts of different ways. All right, so trying to do this with 6061 billet aluminum would be a little tricky. All right, you can see that. And let's walk over to the car to see how this looks. Now, I have the template for this, and it's going to go exactly right here. So it's going to go 60 millimeter above the body line right here and 20 millimeters from the door out this way. So when I initially designed this, I wanted it to extract air from the back of the fender, this area right here. That's just, you know, kind of parachuting everything because of the wide body. And I didn't want to do a crazy setup like I did with my Cayman right here on top. So instead of putting it up top, I decided, let's just go to the side right here and see how it looks. So you pick this up and check it out. It goes right there or so. All right, now it looks gimungo right now because it's obviously white, but once everything's color matched and bonded, it should look pretty good. And the vent is right here. So 60 millimeter from the bottom body line, 20 from the corner right there. And it looks pretty good. I like it. Look at the contour, nice and smooth. And this is gonna add, you know, that sporty look. And is it gonna work as far as aerodynamics and extracting heat? I'm assuming it will, but that's really not the purpose of that piece. I just wanted it because it looks cool. So for you aero guys asking, is that gonna be a functional vent? Yeah, I mean, it's gonna extract the air that's in this area right here, yeah, but my main point is it looks cool and I've always wanted to do it. How am I gonna fasten it? Well, I'm not sure yet. I think I'm going to either rivet it on like these guys right here with small rivets, you know, maybe like one here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then call it a day. Or on the back right here, you can actually bond this with panel bond. All right, I can use panel bond and then put it all together. The funny thing is, I just repainted my fenders recently, and I should have thought about this before. So if I wanted to do it super uber clean, I could slap it on, bondo it over, and kind of make it fit nice and clean, and then it's gonna look like one piece. But since I have a bunch of rivets on this body kit already, as you can see right there, and all throughout the car, everything on this car is basically riveted on. You know, it has that look. I might just patch this from the front like this. All right, see my Cayman? See how I installed this? Also with rivets. And it doesn't look bad at all. It fits the look of the car, and I think it'll be all right. As you can see, my Cayman's also, it's got that riveted look. People ask, like, why do you like the riveted look? I like the riveted look because first, it shows dimension, right? So you can see the separation between the body lines. If this was just molded one piece, it just looks like a big blob, all right? And then on top of that, if, say you have air ride, I don't have air ride on my car, but if you drop the car and you forget to put your wheel straight and you smash the fender and crack it, you can take off this whole panel and just redo it. Instead of taking your whole car to the body shop because it's all molded together. So it's all about preference, you know. I like to think about streetability, basically. Now, I could have molded all my pieces. Trust me, I've thought about that before. But if you screw something up, which I have before, it's a total nightmare. Especially if you go to the back right here, the rear quarter panel. If I molded everything here in one piece, dude, it would be a total nightmare to just fix one side. You'd have to take it to the body shop. But with this, I can just take the fenders and send it to them. They fix it, and I put it back on. No problem. So same with these guys, the fender vents. I wanted to make it basically modular, so if something happens, I can just take it off and call it a day. You can also use double-sided tape. There are really like crazy industrial grade double-sided tape that you can use for you know, like little trinkets like this. I know Honda, a bunch of OEs use the same type of tape to hold on like fascias, lips, you know, stuff like this. And it works pretty good. So stay tuned. I'm going to be doing this probably in the next few weeks. There's a lot of things to do on this car because it's a never-ending project. Like all the suspension stuff, the subframe I have to drop. I have electrical that I still need to do. I got a bunch of electrical stuff upstairs, and you know, more suspension stuff. I actually just bolted these guys together off the car so I could just, you know, splice and go, basically. And yeah, man, this is a crazy work in progress, but between going out and shooting media, coming home, editing, plus working on the cars and then designing pieces. It's a real time consuming process. So my Cayman right here took me about 5 years to build because, you know, I had to do a lot of things myself. I build all these cars. I don't have shops doing my builds other than paint, because I only trust Felix to paint my stuff. Over here you can see my aero stuff. All right, so this is the underbelly of the Miata, the centerpiece, the two sides, the rear of the diffuser area, and the front belly, and the diffuser's in the living room right now. So got lots of updates coming up. I just wanted to update you guys on the 3D printed fender vents, because I know some people have been wondering when I'm gonna drop this, but it took longer than I thought to produce. And if I get enough requests, I can possibly sell this. I made a set right now, and the set cost me close to $800 to produce, just because it's a limited piece. So people don't understand that when you do a limited run, like one-off pieces, it takes a long time to set up the machine versus doing like 100 or 1,000 pieces. It's easier because you could just run them all, so it's cheaper. But if you do one-off pieces, it's super expensive because, you know, the setup time and all that stuff. So for this, it took me, I don't know, 7 months to design and get this made. So if I get enough people wanting this, I can probably offer it for around, I don't know, 500 a set, left and right. Right now, this is about $800 to do the set. So not cheap, but it's freaking awesome. And I don't think anyone offers something like this in the Miata community. So people typically just cut theirs and then they just push it in and then weld it together and whatnot. And there are fender vents too that you can buy, you know, like add-on ones, but not like this. So stay tuned. I'll have more updates on these guys in the coming few days.